right. Welcome to the This That Podcast, episode 119. How's everyone doing, bro? Hope you guys are feeling amazing, getting out there into the sunshine a little bit as we come into the summer months in Australia. Might as well make the most of your weeks and days, because that's what we got, bro. From the seconds to the minutes to the hours to the weeks to the months to the years. Every day, as John Legend said, life is what is happening when you're making other plans, you know? At the moment, I'm in the beautiful studio that I've got here, feeling great. You know, there's a fly buzzing around this room, bro, but I'm not going to allow that, you know, to take me off the course. It can fly all it likes. Doth fly around me, prick. And I'll continue on my stream of consciousness, as Kanye, who's now known as Ye, has said many times to the camera, confusing a lot of people as he goes along his path and journey. And today or yesterday or whatever, he's gone on some Alex Jones podcast. You might see the fly come past me. It just came past me down, showing cameo. The fly is a little cameo today in episode 119. Anyway, back to the rant, the opening Wogologue. Kanye has gone on a rant with Alex Jones. He's dressed in a full-blown head, like a wetsuit for his head, like Kelly Slater wore when he went to surf in Antarctica, but his entire face is clothed with this balaclava, neoprene, 3-2 thickness balaclava that surfers will understand that reference. But this guy's gone on a rant talking about freedom of speech, talking about how he likes Adolf, I won't say the name because I'm putting this on YouTube and they're going to scan this like regular commies do, but you know, I'm going to just leave it at that and just say he was speaking of a short little the German prick from, 80 years ago that did some horrific things, speaking with lightness and actual with a certain amount of veneration, I would say, because he goes, I like him. Said it a couple of times. Now, I'm not going to be this bloke that's going to come out now and condemn everything that Kanye's saying, because I know up until this day on this earth that this guy's not going around putting people into vans and sending them into different camps with different, shower heads. Okay, so he's not that bloke. So firstly, we've got to understand that he's not that bloke. And there's a difference between words and action. That's definitely a massive difference. And there's a difference between he is what you would call Kanye. And I'm trying to not be the devil's advocate, but I'm just trying to see things from what he's saying. Not because I'm a massive Kanye fan. I've got a pair of Yeezys. They're the worst shoes I've ever worn. They're basically like Alpincy that my grandmother used to knit in the backyard while she was sun tanning all day. And they've got a sole on the bottom of them, you know? So a sole more than many other people that I've seen on the internet and TV these days. So what this guy is saying is I think he's just poking the bear and trying to express to himself that he's not going to be silenced by anyone. But you know what it's like, bro. If Jesus got thrown at the top of the hill and to carry his cross up to the top there, Kanye West, it's what you're doing is only going to anger the people that out here on this earth that are controlling it. And as we know, if you're going to look at it from a spiritual war perspective, then let's say there is some pretty heavy people out there that are twisting and turning the earth, and they work in the name of money, power, and influence and status. They don't work in the name of God, all right? They don't believe in God, okay? So if you're out here saying Jesus is king and I only believe in Jesus and I'm going to speak whatever I want to say and say certain people in history that have been quite, detestable, I like them. If you're going to say all of that stuff, then get ready to be totally deplatformed and possibly join Skid Row in Los Angeles living in a tent. But doesn't matter. That's what he wants to do. Then he can do it. It's not like he's going to go out and make a triple platinum album. Now he's descending into his own mind now. And the thing is, you get into a positive feedback loop or a negative feedback loop. I think the actual thing is like when you have a couple of speakers and one speaks and the other one catches the reverb off it and it goes back and forth. I don't know if it's the reverb or it catches, but it gets louder and louder and louder and louder as it just keeps going. And I mean, it's chaos out there, bro. It's chaos, and this is the reason why I've got a t-shirt coming out called Thy Heathen Doth Roam the Earth. It's because there is no access anymore. I've said this, so many times. That's why you guys have got me in the top 5 podcasts in Australia, because you're listening to some of these things that I'm thinking of in my mind, because I think I'm slightly just an observer and I get a lot of things wrong, like every single person that's ever walked doth earth. But at the same time, some acute observations that I'm seeing now is that things are getting more and more looser in regards to people understanding their footprint on the planet, and it's becoming more and more confusing and chaotic. And that's concerning, bro. That's very concerning. And it should be something that we should chat about. Why not, bro? Like, I mean, you come to the shows for a laugh, bro, but you come to the podcast to get your head blown off by Vlad's Doddle. That's what we're doing here. If you're coming here just so you can giggle the day away while you go in between like a meaningless, vacuous job, then, I mean, that's your own prerogative. But I'm here to just be able to vent whatever I'm feeling and reading and seeing and understanding for that week, month, year, whatever I'm doing. So, I mean, don't have a go at me. And you're not having a go at me. I'm having a go at me right now. So, but if you're going to cut that, just, I mean, move on with your merry way and day. So, I watched a little bit of this Kanye thing, and I haven't got through it because, I mean, who in their right mind has 3 hours to listen to this type of nonsense? There is so many more things that we can do. There are so many more things. There are so many more things, productive things that we can do with our lives instead of listening, one of them being the This That podcast, instead of listening to this guy talking to Alex Jones and all. It's just entertainment, guys. That's what you have to understand. That's what I do understand. I've somehow feel like I've alleviated myself of social pressure in the last few months, because I'm 82 days sober now, and it does feel good to be sober because your perspective shifts after about 60 days. I said 6 weeks, 42 days, let's say 60 days of sobriety, which is absolutely no brain-altering states whatsoever. So no alcohol, no marijuana, no drugs, no sleeping tablets, nothing like that. Nothing that's going to alter my perspective except for just water, kombucha, and non-alcoholic beers. You start to see a little bit clearer what everything is, and everything is a joke, and everything is a game. And we're all going to die, and and not to get down and morbid on this, but I mean, a fact of life is that we're all going to go, and no one's going to come back either. So it's like, get that solely, firmly put into your head every time you pop on these mongoloids that are on the internet, just deterring you and distracting you away from you doing something greater with your life. Now, there's people out there that have got mad potential, that might want to do something, maybe do what I'm doing, or maybe want to become electricians, or maybe want to become politicians, or some other shin. At the end, beautician, then go ahead and do that, because you're contributing more to society by focusing hard on becoming a pro at something, not prostitute, becoming a professional at something. And don't be a prostitute. You've got better potential out here. It's Australia, bro. Just do your best, and you'll probably get something equivalent to normal. But if you want to wear Balenciaga shoes and you don't want to study, then yeah, prostitution might be a good way to do it. You do it. It's not me condoning it. I'm just saying it's an option. Okay, so if you're going to cut that. So this is all a big distraction. And do you know who wants you distracted, bro? The channels that you're currently listening to me on YouTube, Google Play and Spotify and all that. What do you think they want you jogging and writing goals and setting up and building a family home and having a cornerstone of some faith and religion and serving your community and becoming a stronger, healthier version of yourself and raising good kids that can also have kids of their own that are also good people that can help others and help animal life and help nature and help the earth, or whatever you want to do, whatever type of hero you are? They don't. They say they do, but action is, can we pull you into an algorithm that's going to keep you here, bro? Okay, so you watch Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has got his shirt on in 2 out of 2,000 videos. He's sitting there with a snake tattoo wrapped around his arm, talking about he's gone Muslim now and he's got 10 children. And then last week he was talking about doing doggy style position with Romanian women. I mean, how fucking stupid do you have to be to sit there listening to it? I'll tell you how. You don't have to be very stupid. Every person gets dragged into this vortex. It's the Matrix, bro. He's the one that said the Matrix. Andrew Tate said the Matrix, but he said that along with a million other dumb shit that he said, because he's a human being. Don't look at these people as prophets, bro. They're false prophets, okay? Everyone's a false prophet except for the real person, the king, Jesus Christ, right? If you're going to say that, your king might be the Islam king or the Buddhist king or whoever you pray to. You do your thing, you know what I mean? there isn't, and if science is your king, that's your king too. You know what I mean? Because science, I don't think has a king. I think it's just data and pieces of paper and university students, and they just look at, you know, mathematics and stuff as to be their actual anchor into truth, which is good, bro. There's something you can rely on. I've spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, but these people that are on the internet, the Balenciaga now holding a child holding a bear strapped up in bondage gear, it's another distraction, bro. And people are going, we're going to unravel the demon cults that are around the earth, talking about children being, you know, unfit, like harassed and stuff like that. I don't want to get down. It's a dark road. I don't want to go down that road, bro. I don't buy Balenciaga. I don't care about Balenciaga. If they were here today and gone tomorrow, it's the same shit. I care more about my kitchen sink. I don't look up to people that wear this stuff. I don't care, because most of these people are morons. They are. They're morons, bro. They're as deep as a kid's ball. And if you sat down to have a conversation with them, you feel sick in your gut. You go, this is shit. Why are you so popular? And you ask yourself, why are you so popular? Because they say dumb shit that it gets on a surface level of attention. It's surface level attention, bro. Like, that's why, you know, Kim Kardashian got famous. Why? Because she put a 9-inch rod in her ass. Or I don't know if it was her ass, but it was definitely at some orifice in her body, face, mouth, whatever. Ray J, she's gone totally popular for that. I mean, she could have got that banished from the internet, bro. They banished all of these people from the internet. They've taken them off, from Jordan Peterson to Donald Trump to Andrew Tate. They take them off the internet. Now, if you really want something gone, you can, but she's not going to let it go, because she gets invited to Balenciaga catwalks and she goes to all of this stuff that makes her feel like she's a great person on this earth, you know, and she might be. I don't know, bro. I don't know the end game. I don't know how it's going to be down the line. All I'm just saying is that chaotic society is more chaos now than it has been for some time. Now, it's probably been more chaotic back in the past. Who knows? I don't know. But at the moment, if you're on your phone, if you're stuck in the matrix web, which is your phone, by the way, because I have some friends that don't look on social media, they don't have accounts on any of it, they're way more at peace with themselves, and they look at us people that are stuck in the realm of this type of nonsense as people that have lost their mind. My grandfather said it to me. He goes, people see Gubia, so people have lost it. Basically, I named my tour after what my grandfather said. My first tour was People Are Gonna Lose It, which is about them seeing, obviously, what I'm doing on stage. They're gonna lose it, and People Have Lost It was my recount on society going absolutely left. And my grandfather has said that for years. He knew when that phone came out that people are gonna lose it, and they have, rightfully so, right? It's too much information coming at you and too unnecessary. You don't focus on anything that makes your life better, all right? I was reading in the Bible about false prophets, and it says, beware of sheep that come to you, beware of wolves that come to you in sheep's clothing, because they look like sheep, but inside they're ravenous wolves, right? That's from the Sermon on the Mount. People say that, oh, you're going into the Bible. So I've been into the Bible since a child, bro. And I've still been a heathen myself. I've still gone out clubbing and taken various laundry powders. And I've still gone out with Dimche off Jaborche Blagoche and ended up on a beach in Greece somewhere, rattled off my head in the morning. Like, it's, you know, I'm a moron as well, was. Let's put that in there. Let's cut that and go back to was. So it's not like I haven't slipped and tripped on the path. That's the whole point of this podcast, is just experiential talk of trying not to be a catastrophe. That's it. Immaculate Agency takes a day-to-day effort not to relapse into catastrophes. So, again, I'm going to have to wrap it back. This is a big Vlads in Wonderland rabbit hole, opening Wogologue, call it what you will. It's that I feel somewhat inclined to chat about if there's any advice that I can say that I've felt by, like, at least being sober. Just alcohol can sway you, by the way, because alcohol deregulates impulse control. That's a studied fact by some guy called Andrew Huberman. He's got a sleeve tattoo, but he wears long sleeve shirts so no one can see him, because he used to be a skateboarder doing all these grinds and carves inside empty pools. But he said that alcohol deregulates impulse control. It's part of the medulla oblongata, I don't know what that is, some brain center up there where Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and all of that are controlling the world, but it also controls you to not have the Cadbury bar or to not go on Pornhub or to not end up at, you know, some strip club in the city at 3 a.m. when you've got a missus of 10 years. So that's the part that I'm saying. If you can control your impulse, you can get yourself out of this kind of webby matrix crap that's going on, because it's never ending, bro. Have a look at it. Like, what are we doing? Everything is devolved into just catchphrases and hot topics and morons from America. Like, why are we talking about them? I don't know. I'm open. I've wasted 15 minutes on this. I want to talk about the Japanese team beating the Spanish soccer team this morning. That's all I want to talk about. The Japanese team looked like a very tight-knit soccer team that went out there and had passed the ball around. All little guys, 5'5" max, smacking a ball around, having a mad time, bro. That was a really nice thing to watch this morning. Instead, I had a whole bunch of people sending me stuff about Balenciaga and Kanye West. And what are you going to say about this, Vlad? And what am I going to say about this? What I'm going to say about it is it's all a distraction. It's a distraction. And my wife once said to me, evil is what distracts. She had read that, right? So that is such a powerful quote. If you just think about it, if it's not benefiting you, if it's distracting you off your course, and if you've got even a course, even you don't have a course, you need to get a fucking course, right? And a course is somewhere where you want to go forward, because you don't get positive emotion, apparently, if you're not moving forward to something that you desire. You don't have to desire the money and the riches, because, again, that's a pit of snakes as well, because you get there, you go, I need more. I can't just have one Lamborghini. I need 26 like Andrew Tate. And what's he done now? He's moved to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't know what to do anymore. He's bored shitless. Just keeps doing podcasts. You're 37 years old, mate. Calm down. Calm down. Get yourself a family, kids, relax. Do a podcast from home. You don't need to fly around the whole world speaking to Patrick Bet-David in Miami. It's enough. It's too much, actually. It's too much. That's the way I'm feeling it now. It's like I might change my mind down the line, but at the moment I'm just thinking what was this thing that I said, bro? I gotta pull it up because it was fantastic. Yeah. Timothy 4:3-4. This is a good chapter, right? This is when something withstands the test of time, pay attention. Okay? Wherever it is, from science to religion to something that your father said to something that you've witnessed and it withstands the test of time, it's something that is true, right? That's the definition of true. It's something that is unchangeable, right? For the time will come when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. That's right now, man. That is right now. There is truth is a malleable, ever-changing, subjective thing in this day and age. And that, in my possibly not so humble opinion, is the reason why the chaos is so high. From the family household all the way to international geopolitics, to friendship circles, to relationships, the truth is not set anymore. There is no North and South Pole. I've said it a million times. That's why I believe so much in that. You have to lean on a fence post that doesn't bend and take off like that prick from behind me try to take my land. There's got to be a boundary somewhere. People don't like to hear the boundaries because they're heathens and they want to do what they want and never be accountable for their actions. But to be honest, you need it, because without that, it's chaos and everyone then is a victim. And that's not good for anyone, bro. So this is the time that we currently live in. And I just want to say good luck to everyone, bro. That's an opening Wogologue from my heart. I did not plan that shit. I just watched a little bit of that stupid interview. I saw the advert for that stupid company, and in my opinion is beware of false prophets. These people should not have so much of your time and energy put into your life and into your purview. Get rid of them. Let's get it, bro. Little coffee, bro. I want a coffee and I need a boutique. I'm not gonna get a pumped up arm from something from 7-Eleven. Odyssey Coffee, bro, the brainchild of Matthew and Terry. Sorry, it's the brainchild of Matthew and Jimmy. I've got something here. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so just Odyssey right now. Yeah, Matty and Jimmy, bro. Here we go. With a combined experience of 40 years in the coffee industry, Odyssey Coffee, O-D-Y-S-S-C-Y. What did I say? O-D-Y-S-S-C-Y. It's a beautiful coffee ground out of Melbourne, bro. You got to get yourself something from www.odysseycoffee.com.au. They got mad, decadent hot chocolate as well. The boys have been sending me coffees. They send me a coffee machine. Very generous, very good company, young, pumped up, booming, caffeined up, obviously. They're getting high off their own supply over here. They used to be in the Mornington Peninsula, but now they're in Melbourne, supplying many, many cafes, businesses, and personal family homes. And you got to get in touch with them at admin@odysseycoffee.com.au, or just go on odysseycoffee.com.au, order yourself some stuff, mention Vlad in the checkout to get 10% off. odysseycoffee.com.au, a mad coffee brand, Odyssey Coffee. How am I going to say it again? O-D-Y-S-S-E-Y, coffee.com.au. Coffee is not only in their blood, it's their passion. So they're dedicated to bringing you the best quality coffee, high consistency. They've got a team of roasters and buyers, carefully curate the coffee for your drinking pleasure. So go on and check out. The number 5 is my favorite, Odyssey number 5. There's an astronaut on the front, white, steezy little packaging, this, that. So make sure you get yourself some and support the supporters that support the podcast. A wrap. Metropolitan Stone, the best stone in the world. When you're going in to change your kitchens and laundries and shred, carpets and shred. Metropolitan Stone, I told you. Victorian gladiators, listen up, bro. If you need anything in your kitchen or your household, your unit, apartment, townhouse, villas, duplexes, land, this, that, get in touch with Matthew Frieders from metropolitanstone.com.au. They're cabinet makers extraordinaires out of Victoria, cabinet maker extraordinaires out of Victoria. Benchtop changeovers, so just refresh your kitchen. They can do brand new kitchens, all of the new carcasses, this, that. I don't know if it's a carcass. Kitchens, laundries, built-ins, linen presses, TV units, just specialised wardrobes to fit your exact apartment. So you go to IKEA, shit quality, mate. You go over to Matthew Frieders, he'll get you something that's built into the perfect space so you don't have to worry about it. When you sell the fucking thing, it goes with it, you know? You just leave it there. You're not going to defit it with a tiny little Allen key. Where are you going to find that Allen key? You throw that shit straight in the bin and you're stressed out when you do it, so you ended up just throwing it on the street and just littering everywhere, stomping on and breaking. It's a waste for the environment. Matthew at metropolitanstone.com.au, or call him directly 042 797 488 042 797 488. It's Metropolitan Stone, the best stone in the world when you want to change your kitchens and laundries and share. Support the supporters that support the podcast. I said, Bruce, super convenience.
Bam, we got this giant delivery of drinks yesterday. So What does that mean? Well, let's start with the C4.
What does it mean?
Skittles C4 plus cherry, strawberry, and lemon Starburst.
There you go.
Plus this brand new peach mango nectar and about 12 other flavours.
That's down from Bruce Super Convenience, the #1 snack plug in Australia. 10% off plus freebies on top of your order. 10% off plus freebies. Go to brucesuper.com.au. In the checkout, discount code, you put Vlad, VLAD. These guys got stuff from America. They specialize in American snacks. They've got European stuff, Asian stuff. They've even got stuff from Macedonia, from Greece, from Croatia. Get in touch with them. Their Instagram is Bruce Super Convenience, and it's at Bruce Super C. You're going to get 10% off for the code Vlad. Plus, he'll throw freebies on top because you're supporting the supporters that support the podcast. Huge company out of Canberra, ships quick, gets stuff every week, new stories every day, giveaways. Bruce Super Convenience, a fantastic little business that's turned into a national selling confectionery, sweets, drinks, chips, I don't know, fucking this, that, nerds. Get into Bruce Super Convenience. You'll be able to find what they do. Go on their website, brucesuper.com.au, brucesuper.com.au, and then go ahead and support the supporters that support this podcast. Give them some business, and they give us some dough to wrap this for free for you, bro. Yeah, all right, we're back, bro. Let's get to some questions. Lukey, 23. If family, friends, career, finances, etc. are in a good spot, why can't I let the hair flicker with Dimche now and then? Good question. I am presuming letting the hair flicker with Dimche is just having a big night, bro. Well, I'm not your boss, bro. You do what you want. Good luck to you. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. If everything's in a good place and you decide to go on a yacht in the city and, you know what I mean, party your brains out, sometimes literally, then do it, you know. That's the beauty of our life, bro. That's the beauty of our current way of life, which is a challenging one nonetheless, but still very opportunistic. You can do what you want, bro. And I mean, you write a book about it, bro. Like, that's the thing. They've done it, like Motley Crue and all of that, and Guns N' Roses, and these guys are shooting up and sleeping in a bathtub, and some people drink until they vomit in the back of a car, like the singer from AC/DC, and they let their hair flicker a bit too much. You know what I mean? But if you're saying if everything's in a good place and every now and then you want to go out and hook it up with Dimche, you can, bro. Like, there's some risks involved. Let's just say you decide one night you're 39 years old, you have slight tits, you're jiggling a little bit, and you haven't made the best choices in the bakery, like, you know what I mean? You've just decided, hey man, my house is good, I've paid off, I'm working at Macquarie Bank, I'm making 400 grand a year. And some of these, you know, bored people here on a Friday night that don't have a partner or a house or whatever, and they're renting in Bondi, and they go in between hot saunas and cold baths on their weekend just so they can face up to work again on Monday and do work that absolutely just bores them, just so they can get money. Just say you want to go and let your hair out that weekend, and you go, you know what, I'm going to leave the kids, I'm going to go on a bit of a bender the next 12 hours. And you end up drinking and end up in a hospital bed afterwards. That's a risk, for example. There's another risk. You take some pill off some guy with a neck tat and you end up in the Pacific Ocean as well. That's another risk. Or you end up sleeping with some heathen and then she ends up finding your phone and transferring money and also transferring a few messages of a box to your missus. That's another risk. And there's also no risk. You can go out and do all of the rest and come home and have a fantastic life and keep on going. So, I mean, roll the dice, bro, however you like. To me, it's like everything, my mate's father said it once, everything goes with time. You know, I've grown out of that shit. It took me years, it took me a kid, it took me marriage and mortgage, and it took me a career that I love and enjoy, well, at least enjoy. I wouldn't say love because it's not without its pressures as well. It's just something that I think comes to me naturally and it's a gift from the good one. I would say for me, the risk is too high. So I don't want to do that, bro. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go backwards. And that's something that I'm afraid of. So I've got my fears intact. And that's why I don't let the hair flicker too often, even though I get asked for the hair to be flickering, and it is sometimes, but not in that metaphor. It's flickering just when I'm running fast on the last kilometre on a 10K run. But otherwise, I just try to keep it on the, you know, what do they call it? The narrow path, right? The straight and narrow. I'm trying to. I'm doing my best, bro. Like, I'm trying to strip away the shit onion parts, the superficial onions, and just try to get to the core. Nutrition, if I can. But again, who knows what the future holds? I can't be some hypocrite and then one day you see me on some rooftop with my shirt off and having 3/4 of a bottle of Jack Daniels, and you go, what happened, Vlad? What happened? And I'm like, life happened, bro. I'm off my head at the moment. I don't know. Like, I try not to. I'm just trying to stay present and try to avoid slippery spots because that's the best way. That's another thing my mate said. You know, want to slip, get out of slippery spots. And if you've still got that urge to go out and do that, do it, bro. That's fine. You could also go out and have a mad time without being a catastrophe. You can still go out, you know, you don't have to have 32 standard drinks and 22 durries and several powders that have been through 32 hands and a Corolla Ascent to come and give it to you. But that's, again, something else that the culture has placed into our stupid lives, and now we've got to battle that. Apart from having creaky knees and a slip disc, now you got that to battle as well. You can't go out and have a conversation without your mate slapping the table and calling someone that he doesn't know on a phone. So, I mean, do what you will, bro. Make the choices consciously if you can. That's, again, that reason that I got off the alcohol is trying to make a conscious decision without being some person that lacks control of impulses. And that the impulse control is something that's hugely determines your trajectory in life, bro. I'm out here like Anthony Robbins today. Who cares? I'm loving it. That's the answer to your question, Lukey. Do as you will, bro, but I've known some of the biggest party animals and they don't roll up the best. You know what I mean? They don't roll up at 50 looking very good, feeling very good, and ending very good. And then I've seen some really healthy people that have also had backward slides and they don't feel very good, or, you know, it's just, I don't know, what's written in the stars, whatever's written on the cards for you, the cards you dealt. No judgment from me. It's I can only try to navigate the ship that I'm on, and I'm trying my best, I suppose. So, but then again, as I said, never know what the future holds, bro. Might get buck wild one day. Might, you know, break loose, cut loose, whatever you want to call it. See me on some yacht in the city with some people like with blended hairstyles and Balenciaga shoes and dancing on top of a DJ deck. I won't be wearing the Balenciaga shoes. So if you're going to cut that, I'm probably just going to have some English-looking shoes, all right? Just something English, something minimal, something gets D's, dude. So that's probably the end of that question. Wrap. MCS Communications, sorry. What type of person do you want your son or daughter to marry? Jesus. You know, like there's straight away you can try to pretend to be a nice person and say, I just want them to marry whoever they want, and I just want, and all of that. But the other side of me is also like, I also want to like kind of have a look at the person before they marry him and just, you know, maybe just assess it like a regular father would, like every father would, bro. Look you up and down and see what your character's all about, you know, judge you a little bit. My father-in-law did that to me, sat me down and chatted the shit out of me, bro, to talk the legs off a horse when I first met him, and then for several months and years as I knew him. And then when it came to, for a while, he saw me going off the rails a little bit. He was like, hey, you gonna do something with my daughter? You just gonna play around? Put me on the spot. My mother-in-law as well. She goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hurry up. You know, you're going to do something. You're going to just come around, go skateboarding in between and use my daughter. I was like, oh, Jesus, you might be right, you know. So what type of person do I want my son to marry? Well, I want my son to marry someone that loves him, right? And now you can't say a man or a woman these days because you're bigger if you say I want him to marry a beautiful woman. But I do want him to marry a beautiful woman. I want her to be respectful to him, understanding of him, nurturing, guiding, at the same time smack him in the mouth, not literally, but keep him in line, you know what I mean, when he's being a moron, which he will, because he's another human being walking the earth. So I want her to have some values, core values, good values, honesty, truth, loyalty, obviously beauty, that's it, probably it, bro. And for my daughter, I want a man that cares for her, protects her, isn't off the rails, isn't some ideological person that's hard to deal with, an immovable person that doesn't want to take advice or doesn't want to grow or change or, you know, fix himself. Someone that thinks he's got a bigger ego than his car, so it's like, that's not driven just by dough and accumulation and superficiality. I don't want her being sucked into a vortex like that, because I see what that ends up with, and it's just bullshit. So I'd want her to be someone that loves her for her and is not controlling and manipulating her, and they have a good, harmonious kind of back and forth. They're never going to be without arguments. They're never going to be without problems. They're never going to be perfect. That's not the issue. The issue is that they're both dedicated to each other and they love each other and they help each other go through the hardships of life, bro. That's the whole point. You get married to someone. You don't get married to someone so you can post Instagram photos. Do that by yourself. Just pick up a little gang on the weekend, do that by yourself. But you get married because your miss is going to end up looking like a man and you're going to end up looking like a woman, and you still love each other and you're still there for each other. And at the end of it, you go, I can't hack you, but I love you. And she's the same thing. I can't hack you, but I don't want to be with anyone else. And that's really it, the tragedy of life, bro. You sit down, you see those photos of the two grandparents sitting on a park stool looking out into the distance. You didn't hear that the grandmother just goes, "You worthless piece of shit," and he just goes, "Look at you, bro. You haven't been able to pleasure me for 25 years. You didn't hear that. It's just a photo of two old people sitting on a park bench next to each other. You know, you didn't hear that she nearly choked on a pistachio nut and this guy didn't have his dentures in, so he can't have his Porto's burger that his son bought him. You don't see all of that. You just see two old people on a bench. But it's better two old people on the bench than one old person on the bench, because it's tough. And when you got each other, and if you stay together and you're somewhat lucky to be able to hang out together like my grandparents, then you're blessed beyond belief, because my grandmother is suffering currently in bouts of in and out, what's it called, Alzheimer's or whatever it is, dementia. My grandfather is going in and out of hospital with cancer, and they're still like that together. You know, they separate, they're gone. You know, my grandfather famously has said it 100 times, "Without me, grandmother lasts 2 weeks." And there's something so beautiful about that, because what else is there, bro? What are you going to watch Oprah Winfrey? You can't go on TikTok after 40. No one cares. No one cares about you. It's as I said, a vacuous bullshit. That's the type of person that I would want, just a good, regular human being that's got their values in place, and I said honest, loyal, forgiving and loving. That's probably about it, brother. I hope that helps. Brother or sister, I'm not sure. Right. Wild gob. All right. Other than mulch and berries, what do you eat in a day? Who is the chef of the household? You're looking at him, bro. You're looking at him. Goran Ramsky over here, the chef, the one and only for the family, the Gladiator family over here. I cook in a day, let's just go roughly, this is going to be what I eat, because currently I'm on a diet. I've lost 3.5 kilos. I'm hoping when I weigh in next week, it could be 4 kilos, but you can see the angles, bro. Chin's coming out. Oh, shredded, dude. So shredded now, bro. Other than mulch, I do love berries. I smash berries. Regular food, bro, I wake up in the morning, there's usually 10 options, maybe 3. One of the options is if I'm going to do some training in a couple of hours, I'll smash porridge with like some seeds, some ancient grains and seeds come back from Jesus' times, collected from Jerusalem. Sprinkle that on top, a couple of sultanas, sweeten the mix a bit, and a handful of frozen berries. I'll throw that on. There's a possibility of like a peanut butter protein shake with vegan protein. I don't like to have the cow protein or bloat me up coming out looking like a cow with tits. Don't need that. So I'll probably do a protein shake. That's another option. If I do a protein shake, I might have a slice of bread with like peanut butter on it or something like that. Sustenance, right? Zastani. And the other option would be eggs. So I would fry a couple of eggs, maybe scramble a couple of eggs or whatever. A little bit of feta sprinkled on top, a couple of cherry tomatoes, a cucumber on the side for a little bit of roughage, keep the guts going through nice and smooth. I'll do that. A handful of kimchi on a plate. I love that. I try not to eat the bread that much, so I'll have rice, like a rice cake. I'll put the egg on the rice cake, bit of the feta, bit of the kimchi, little bit of chili sauce, smack that, bang. I'm getting like a bit of protein, bit of fats, bit of carbs, all of that all together. This morning I had that. I had feta cheese with 3 fried eggs, bit of feta cheese on some rice cakes, and a little bit of salad on the side. I like to do that. Then I went out and played tennis, an hour and a half. I had a Powerade because I needed it. I'm still dehydrated from having gastro and ending up in the hospital. So I had a Powerade, about a litre of water. And after that for lunch, I had a chicken souvlaki wrap. So like whatever, barbecue chicken, or I don't know whether it was barbecued or roasted fried chicken. It wasn't deep fried, but just like cooked chicken with rocket salad inside, a bit of onion, a bit of tzatziki. That was in a wrap. I had a protein cookie before I started this. I usually snack on some nuts of some sorts, walnuts, almonds throughout the day, mulch, berries. If I can, I might sneak in a non-alcoholic. All right, we're back. Sorry if you're watching the program that got cut off. But if you're listening, that was still on there. So let's do another question for Vlad here. Alexi Pili. What self-help books would you recommend? Loved Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. I'm not a huge reader. I listen a lot, but I have bought a crazy amount of books that I kind of flip through and highlight and retain. Best self-help books is the King James Bible. That's number one. Turning Pro was a fantastic book by Stephen Pressfield. That was about artists and creatives that are stuck in a thing called resistance when you can't finish what you've set out to do, and it's the plight of most creative ventures, entrepreneurial brains and artistic people that just cannot get their stuff out there. I've been blessed with what I'm doing now because I've kind of allowed momentum to hold me forward. But if you guys heard and knew that I have over 1,000 songs in my hard drive, you wouldn't believe it, but I do. Have a lot of music, a lot of music. It's a silly amount of music. It's fantastic, some of it as well. So hopefully that I'll put it out into the matrix sometime soon. I might pop one on the end of the podcast today. Who knows? Who cares? So what do we say? Bible. Yes. One. Love it. I would definitely say it's a hard book to read. For me, it's more the Sermon on the Mount, the Proverbs, the Psalms, the books of Matthew, Jim, and Terry. No, sorry, that's the Odyssey people. Sorry, that's the guys from, Odyssey Coffee. The books of Michael, Jim, Dimche, Yovche, Blagoche. That I like. Another book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Fantastic book about mindset. I love a book called by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. It's a revolutionary book. Read that, Power of Now. Anthony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. These are all self-help books, by the way. That's the question. What self-help books do you love? Brian Tracy's Insights to Achievement is a very good book. Jesus, bro, I'm not going through my head of which ones have affected me the most. I loved a book by You're Not Born Brilliant. You Don't Have to Be Born Brilliant by John McGrath. Again, he's a real estate agent, but he doesn't really sell anything. He's just an entrepreneur, kind of a businessy guy, very smart. That's a good book to read. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life is a fantastic book. Jordan Peterson's 12 More Rules for Life, and what's it called? Antidote? No. The first one's The Antidote to Chaos by 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. The second one's called Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. I went and met him. Last week I didn't speak about it much because my son was vomiting, and then in turn when I went home to help my son, 24 hours, 48 hours later, I was in the emergency ward vomiting myself. Highly contagious, acute gastritis, or the not gastritis, what's it called? Gastro fucking something. So that would probably be it, bro. Get into those books if you can. I can't really, I might have some here on my phone if I open my books. I do have some that I might be able to bring up my library. Kobe Bryant's Mamba Mentality, that's awesome. I liked the new Matthew McConaughey book, Green Lights. I mean, it's just a pop book by an actor, but again, you just take something from it. The Courage to Be Disliked. I love this book by Ichiro Kishimi and
Teleology.
Fumitake Fakemete Koga. The Courage to Be Disliked, a Japanese phenomenon that shows how to free yourself, change your life, and achieve real happiness. That's based on the psychologist Alfred Adler and the Adlerian mindset, the Adlerian psychological mindset. That's a cracker book. The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. That's another intriguing read, kind of along the vein of The Secret. If you believe in that, it's kind of an energy thing, more of a energy, spiritual fields, I don't know, what do you call it? Yeah, attraction thing. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. Very good book, loved it. Great book in regards to self-help. As I said, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Think and Grow Rich. I downloaded On the Origin of the Species by Charles Darwin. It's the most boring book I've ever read in my life. Didn't even read more than 2 chapters. That's it. That's in regards to self-help books, I would say. I'll have a look on my Audible if I've got any others. No, you got to ask to sign in, get fucked, bro. All right, so that's it. Don't know who asked that question, but Alexi, was it? Yeah, Alexi Pili. That's probably it, bro. Go and check those out. Hope you had a pen and paper handy while you did that and you weren't just driving and pretending to remember them and you don't remember anything. Also, reading is better than listening because reading requires actual attention to detail. Get a highlighter, go across, dog ear the pages, stick some post-it notes on it, do something like that. Actually write things that affect you. Just listening, you're retaining. It's more like you're getting the words in, but you're not understanding the concepts. All right, there. Bang. Grove, Toys Collectables, Toys Collect, fucking Toys Collect, Toys Collect, fucking Toys Collect, fucking Toys Collect. Angel Grove Toys and Collectables, bro. Huge podcast sponsor out here. Listen, Angel Grove Toys and Collectables are a collectibles company out of Victoria that ship around the whole of Australia, probably international, not sure about that, but you're going to get a fat 10% off with the code Vlad. Go and have a look at their stuff. Power Rangers, Dragon Ball, Digimon, Pokémon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Demon Slayer, One Piece, Naruto, My Hero Academia. They're an official Bam Presto partner store in Australia. So you go and get your 90s nostalgia right there, your television stuff or your online nostalgia. They've got the best toys and collectibles. Here's one bear. My favorites, bro. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bang. Oh, look at that. You like that? You like that? How do you like that, bear? What about this Dragon Ball, bro? My mate Timmy, I was playing tennis with him today and he goes, I love Dragon Ball. And I go, Vegeta? There's some guy called Vegeta. That's the stuff that I use in soups. Yeah, Vegeta, bro. It's probably like a Massa or Croatian guy. Angel Grove Toys and Collectables, huge sponsors of the podcast. As I said, you get some of the stuff that goes up in value, but you also, coming into Christmas, need to buy some presents that are going to give some kids some joy, bro. Give the kids some joy, bro. Stop telling them about Kanye West being a demon and that Balenciaga is the worst company on earth and that Andrew Tate is a god. Forget about all of that. Get on to Angel Grove Collectables and have a little bit of fun. Reinstate some fun in your life, bro. Some creativity and some fun, bear. I've told you a million times. They've got new Power Rangers Lightning collections. There's some Power Ranger on a motorbike, bro. Looks like a space shuttle. There's heaps of Mighty Morphin Yellow Power Ranger daggers. There's one here for $220, bro. They're the daggers. You got to pre-order those, bro. There's new arrivals in Pokemon. There's new arrivals in, and there's a feature collection in Bam Presto, One Piece. Go onto their website. It's www.angelgrovecollectables.com, angelgrovecollectables.com. Support the supporters that support the podcast. Mention Vlad in the discount code. Get 10% off. Bang. Orange Legal Grey. Orange Legal Group Victorians, listen up. Anyone that lives in the state of Victoria, thinking about purchasing a property or selling a property, the conveyances that you need to go and see, actually it's more than conveyancing, but if you're going to get any conveyancing done, checking contracts, drafting contracts, exchanging contracts, it is Orange Legal Group. orangelegalgroup.com.au, and you mentioned that you're a This That podcast listener, or you got at least the reference from here, the referral from here, they're going to look after you on the price. For the Vladiators, he's going to give free contract reviews. So he'll review the contract. Kenny and the boys review the contract. They sleep in the office, they don't go home, they work that hard. But they're going to review the contract for free, and then if you decide to purchase or whatever, then obviously you guys will work out what the fees are, and I'm sure it's very fair. So they're a one-stop shop. It's a conveyancing/lawyer business for property law, a chartered accountant, so you've got someone to stitch your accounting stuff, and a mortgage broker that can do all your finances for you. They'll do the free assessment of your mortgage as well, free contract reviews, and an accountant will wrap everything you need. They can do wills, they can do other stuff as well. So wills and title deeds and things like that. 8317 1070, 8317 1070 if you're in Victoria. They are fantastic sponsors of the podcast, sponsored the big show at the Athenaeum. They'll probably sponsor the Palais Theatre show. I'll be asking them for some cash to stitch, even though it's going to cost me a small Hyundai Kinkata buy that or hire that place for the night. So email property@orangelegalgroup.com.au, orangelegalgroup.com.au is the website. Get on there and support the supporters that support the podcast. If you've got a business, gotta keep it safe. Keep the trolls and the hackers and the demons away. You need virtuosos. What did I say? Virtuosos. Told you, bro. It's been running rampant, bro. Hackers from Russia, hackers from Bangladesh, hackers from Parramatta. They're getting into your own business, bro. So Virtuosos is going to help stop that. It's an online cybersecurity company for all size businesses in Australia. Plus, they'll do all your backups, your modern workplace efficiency, so people can work outside of the office or outside of their homes, from the park or wherever they're from, getting a massage three times a week. They can get, secure connections so they can work from your business without getting hacked and corrupted by the heathens of the world. Their mission is to empower your staff through technology, okay? So please have a look at their website. Virtuosos is virtuosys.com.au. Check out their social media pages or email them at disdat, D-I-S-D-A-T, disdat, D-I-S-D-A-T, at virtuosos.com.au, and support them because they're supporting this podcast. They are an IT company, managed and you can do a self-managed IT service if you want. It's like the Subway for IT, where you pick and choose exactly what you need for your business size and you don't get charged an arm and a leg, bro. They're helping businesses balance productivity and cybersecurity. Virtuosos, fantastic company coming out to help out small business, medium business here in Australia. And get in touch with them if you've got any type of business and get yourself a good IT service, and they'll look after you, of course, when you mention the Distat podcast. Support the supporters that support the podcast. All right, next is questions for Vlad. Why was I her only fan and now she only got OnlyFans? Nice rap, nice double right there. I like it. Let me tell you something, bro. If you got a missus or you're chasing some broad that's got an OnlyFans, I mean, do I have to say anything else to that? Look the other way. Walk away. That is not something that you want in a missus. And also, you need help, bro. You need help. Like, if you're looking at OnlyFans, if you've got an OnlyFans account, if you're a viewer of OnlyFans, you need help. If you've got an OnlyFans and you're the one doing OnlyFans stuff, you need help as well. Especially if it's in the sexual realm, like, rubbing your feet against the camera or putting a G-string backwards or getting a cucumber and putting it in different places in your body. I mean, this is something that where does it end? Where does it end? You end up in a Balenciaga ad with Kim Kardashian, bro. It's probably a good place. You become a billionaire. Good luck. Keep going. Do it. If you were her only fan and now she's got OnlyFans, I mean, you know who she's chosen, bro. She chose the world over you. And that's becoming something that's kind of a normal thing these days. Like, people will choose, grand amount of attention. I'm not one that can say that I don't, because I've obviously got thousands of fans and people that come to shows and listen to this pod. So I can't say that I'd be a hypocrite if I was to say, I've chosen the quiet life. I've chosen the life of expression, and it comes with its perils. It comes with its traps and snares, and that's what it is. And everything that happens like that, I try not to bring my cock out on camera though, but, for the right price on OnlyFans, who knows, bro? Who knows? A couple of people have asked me in the past, can you do an OnlyFans? I didn't even know what that was, man. But, that type of behaviour is not me. I'm too embarrassed, bro. I'm too embarrassed, Like, thank God I've been blessed with a fantastic family of support, love, attention. They got my back, bro. Like, we're tight-knit, I want to keep that tradition up. I don't want to split it up and to look for validation, when you post a new video of, some guy bending over in a car park. I don't need that. And I pray for people to wake up to themselves in that situation, because The porn stars, you see that what they do, all of these porn stars that are out there, and they just get old a little bit, and the young ones come in, and these guys are old stock now, and they start doing interviews on YouTube. Oh, the stuff that we used to do, oh my God. And half of them, you know, don't end well in serious, several chemical addictions and premature death and stuff like that. It's fucking catastrophe, bro. That's a dark. Why are we talking about OnlyFans? I don't want to have an OnlyFans. I don't want to follow anyone on OnlyFans. And I did research it though. I had to, you know, for this. I had to look at it for this podcast. I didn't open an account, but I had to see what it was. And once I worked out what it was, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to Sodom and Gomorrah, bro. That's just, it's a little bit too much. You already got, and plus you got Pornhub for free. You know what I mean? Isn't that the most clicked on website in the world, where everyone spends a lot of their time in the dark? So, I mean, good luck to us all. Good luck to us, bro. We'll all see, you know, the fruits of our labour. I mean, cucumber now that was placed in a certain spot before this. The spot's the table. So if you're going to cut that. Ryan Kobe's. What does the youth of Australia need the most right now, particularly young men? Young women as well, bro. I got a daughter. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't want to be vortexed into this, you know, just men are struggling. Women are struggling too, you know. Maybe a little bit less than men. Responsibility, man. You need responsibilities, man. You know, Jordan Peterson, when I went and saw him last week, he harps on a lot, right? He's a bit of a chatterbox like me. But, I mean, if you can get over him being such a racist bigot, you can see that what he's saying is usually rooted in research over the years, you know, psychological research. You know, I don't know, he's a clinical psychologist, but maybe your cousin Tony knows a little bit more, you know, maybe your cousin Vlad knows a little bit more. But I look up to people that are kind of maybe dedicated a little bit of their time into their field. And this guy talks about responsibility. So, I mean, in the 60s, people were burning their bras and flashing their tits and giving head jobs in the park and saying freedom for all because people were tilting to a right-wing conservatism, and the world was too tight, right? So there was this massive backlash. This is my very deeply researched analysis on it. A massive backlash against those kind of structures, that military kind of structure that was going. It was very rigid. And so people wanted to get rock and roll about it, and people were screaming, the rock and roll is the sound of the demons and the devils and all of that stuff. And but they weren't saying that, you know, going out and blanket bombing a country was a demonic thing to do either, because everyone can justify their behaviours. That's the whole thing about moral relativism. You can just justify anything, bro. I can justify this. You can justify smacking your kids. You can justify not smacking your kids, you know, if you're going to cut that. You can justify doing drugs, and you can justify sobriety. Everyone can justify everything when you're being morally relative, right? So in the end, a free world, as they call it, which is what we currently live in, the Western culture, is do what you will. It's not without, you know, it's traps, as I said before, and several times through this podcast, bro. So I would say what men need, bro, is more responsibility, for sure. And women also need more responsibility because as a society, we are devolving into we're palming off our responsibilities to things, to computers, to machines, to peoples, to companies, to apps, and they go off so we can be mostly just enjoying ourselves. And the enjoying ourselves doesn't seem like it's working well for our mental health, right? Because the mental health, as Peter Jordanson said, you need to have forward-moving progress toward a goal to have positive Jesus, I shouldn't be stumbling on this. I've read a lot, but I'm thinking of two things at once. That's why it's hard to hold two watermelons under one arm. But you get positive emotional responses from moving forward to set goals, right? So if you set a goal to buy a unit, to move out of house, to find a partner, to get a good body, good things, you know, not to buy a Balenciaga belt, to do good things. Because as soon as you buy that Balenciaga belt, the fun stops as soon as you buy it. That's the difference. That there's a line here that I'm telling with consumerism. I know it because sometimes I get psyched up to buy a pair of expensive shoes, or I bought a pair of $800 shoes for a wedding. That's expensive for me to buy. I can afford an $8,000 shoe if I want. I don't want to buy that shit because I know it's $8,000. I get super psyched. That $8,000, that's done. Now I got to wear this fucking shit $8,000 shoe, dude, and worry about stepping in some dog shit on the way into the engagement party, or if someone accidentally spills their Baileys and Coke on my shoes, I want to put them in a headlock like a UFC fighter. It's not worth the stress and the struggle. It's like if I spend $8,000 on a car that I want to work on, and then I'm working on the car and I get to drive it, I get a little bit more. Or if I spend $8,000 on a kitchen renovation and I'm cooking every day in it and it's giving me something, I get it, you know. Or $8,000 on an education where it's a gift that keeps on giving. That's the way. It costs about $8,000 to have a child as well, and a child taketh more than it giveth sometimes, but it does definitely give more than it takes. So I think what people need more is responsibility. I definitely can speak from my side to having become slightly, and I'm trying not to be some damn hero here, but I've made better decisions since having children and a family, and then being stuck in some mortgage. It kind of anchors you into a little bit more of a straighter line. If you leave me to my own devices, I'm a human and I could just get into stupid shit and wreck myself. You know, you wreck yourself. So you want to get yourself into somewhat of a narrower kind of a train line, and so then avoid jumping in front of a train, because these are real realities, bro. If it's too much free time, if it's not enough responsibility, if it's too much, I'm going to go where my nose wants to go and try to grab God by the balls, and I mean, you humble yourself very quickly. It's not right. I don't feel that it works for the human race. Maybe to some people, but I beg to differ. I think people are happiest when they're moving forward to meaningful goals, bro. So men need goals. Like, let's have a look at the difference between my dad's life and say my life, right? My old man got married at 23 years old. I got married at 31 years old, right? Or 30 years old. So I got married, say, 7 years after. He had a kid at 24, I had a kid at 34. So I've put 10 years on, all right, in regards to the kids thing. So when my dad was 40, he had a 16-year-old kid. When I'm going to be 40, I have a 6-year-old kid. So it's like the difference there is 10 years. It's a lot of time, right? It's in that 10 years, you get older, you get creakier, you get angrier, your bones don't work the same, you're more in your set ways, definitely. You're more politicized. You start getting into your own rabbit holes and into your own positive feedback loops, and you're set more. So just say you get married at 40 and have a kid at 45, different to getting married at 25 or 28 and then having a kid at 28 or 30. It's slightly different because you're more younger, malleable, energetic, more healthy at most of the time. Hopefully you're not some KFC eating freak that just sits around watching maths or the Kim Kardashian shows. If you've just got, you know, more of a brain in your nut and you're doing things like whatever that suit you better, fit your body better, then there's possibly a chance that you're going to be happier down the line. Right now, let's take it one step back further. And I'm only speaking from people I know. My grandfather, who had kids at 9, well, he's 88, my old man's 65, he's 87, my old man's 65, 22, right? So he got married at 20, had a kid at 22, so he was a couple of years before my dad. My dad, in one generation, lagged by 2 years for the marriage thing. I lagged by 6 or 7 years for the marriage thing. My dad lagged 2 years for the kid thing, and I lagged 10 years for the kid thing. And there is, my father-in-law said it the other day, he had his first kid when he was like 30, second kid at like 32, third kid when he was like 45. So there was a massive gap. And in that massive gap, age sets in, tiredness sets in, your muscles don't work the same, your brain doesn't fire the same, your level to put up with shit doesn't go, because now your kids are 15, 16, you've got a new one, very difficult. So he said to me, when my youngest daughter wanted to play with me, I couldn't play that much. He goes, I'm tired more, bro. Like, I've killed myself working for the last 15 years, raising a family, I've got another child, and it's tough. So it becomes tougher, the reality of it, bro. But doesn't mean it's wrong. So if you're going to cut that, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that, you know, everything's got cause and effect, and there's a reason why things happened in certain ways. Now, the other thing is, like, just say you're just a healthy, hard-working person and you happen to find the right partner at 40 and you get on with your life and all of that stuff. That's your cause, that's your thing, and no worries. But what about if you had a good partner from 25 and you wanted to go clubbing in Ibiza till you're 45? Then you might go, Jesus Christ, bro, like I could have done with a little bit of responsibility at 30 or 35 years old. And because John Digweed and Sasha and Danny Tenaglia and Tiesto, they're all 55 now. They don't give a shit either. Like, they played the records, they went home, they don't care. So it's, in the end, you're stuck with the music and that's it. But I just think that the responsibility thing, that's why Jordan is so popular, bro. It's because he's not saying dumb shit. He's saying stuff that affects people to the core. When I listen to his lectures, I feel like, who is this idiot, bro? Rambling on about Moses walking through the sand and you know, a flaming bush. I don't want to hear that shit. What is that? What am I talking? I'm trying to listen to the new Run the Jewels album, or I'm listening to some Kid Cudi record telling me about doing MDMA and walking through New York depressed. Why am I listening to him? When Jordan comes along and he's like, you need some responsibility, man. He's got a point, bro. So again, it's the opposite of the 60s now. It's like things have gone too far into showing your tits and getting bent over in a car park, and now we're going to bring you back slightly a little bit more structure. It's what humans do, bro. We balance that out somehow, right? Yes or yes? Do we or not, bro? So we've got to balance that out a little bit. And I think it's that fine art of balance, which I'm not really good at. Like, it's an art and it's a skill. I'm trying to get it right, bro. Bro, you know how much balance you need, like, just to be able to work with the missus? Like, I have to, like, try to find different parts of my brain to wake up, synapses, connections, this, that, just to be able to work with the missus without me, you know, getting the hairline receding anymore. So it's this challenge after challenge. But I would say probably the core, it's not just happiness. Like, you can't just rely on happiness, bro. Because when the happiness is over, you just come back home. And you can go out, have the maddest night with the boys, maddest night, or with the girls or whatever you're going to do. Go out, you're partying, and you're drinking through straws that are shaped like cocks, and blokes are just, we've gone off our head. You know, blokes, we can drink for 3 days. And it's like we just came back from Vietnam and we're just partying and enjoying ourselves, having the best time, but then we've got to face the rest of it when you wake up on Tuesday and you still don't know who you are. And then you've got to go to the job at Office Works or even at Rain and Horn. You work in Rain and Horn, you've got one listing, no one trusts you, you fucking half-assed about your job, you can't hack your life. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you got to face, bro. I mean, again, yes or yes. So I just think, in my opinion, from everything that I've kind of gone through, would be that it's not bad for men of Australia and the world in general to, you know, put themselves into some responsible categories. Because our fathers, and these people born in the 50s and the 60s, okay, boomer, these guys were more responsible than us. You say what you will, they were more responsible. If your dad was 24 years old with 2 kids, he was more responsible than you at 40 years old buying tickets to New Stereosonic. He was more responsible than you, all right? Now, I don't know, you might have 15 investment properties and be some guru and have 10 children, then you're like them. But if you're doing what most of us are doing, which is doing that, having a lot of fun, then one day we're delaying the work, we're delaying the hard yards, we're delaying this and that. And it's inevitable. Like, we're going to need to shift our gears one day. That's just how it is, you know, because as my mate's father said, everything comes with the years. Everything comes with time. You can't stop it. It is what it is. You can't skateboard forever, as your knee's going to pop out when you ollie down 2 stairs. Before you used to be able to ollie down 8, now 2 stairs, and you're in remedial recovery and physiotherapy for 14 to 16 months and getting plasma injections put into the back of your knee. So I reckon that's it, bro. Probably just on responsibility. It makes you feel happier. I reckon it makes you feel more worthy. It makes you feel more wanted. It makes you feel more achieved. I haven't met anyone that's been a responsible person in any realm that doesn't have better feelings for themselves, genuinely more happy and contented within. I just haven't. Most of these people that are like that, usually more content people. All right, that's it. Right. Thanks a lot for everything, guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode. I'm going to wrap up pretty soon and get on with it. Congratulations to Australia, bro. Getting into the round of 16 finals. I did a little chat about that on the channel yesterday on Instagram about my missus trying to watch the soccer game with me. It's not a good thing. I can't watch any soccer with my missus wearing little lacy undies next to me. And yeah, Sunday we're going to watch that. It's going to be an exciting game. I don't know. What else, bro? What else to chat about? It's coming. The year's coming to an end. It's been the fastest year that I've ever experienced. Had some fantastic highs and lows this year. Played a massive theatre, 3-level theatre in Melbourne. We're going to back that up next year with the Palais Theatre. I'm just getting it out there for the Melbourne Gladiators. Thousands of you that listen to this. I'm probably going to put it on for sale January, February, but it's going to be around July before I go to Europe. June, July, or September, October. Which way should it be, before or after? I reckon before. It's a long time to July, but we'll put the tickets on for sale and let's fill that up and have a massive ending before I go over to Europe and take the international, you know what I mean, man of stitchery out there. I love you. You know what I mean? I've got to leave you. Be good, do good, get good. That's what we say. It's a little tune that I'm working on called Waking Up in Space. My daughter's favourite song.